Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you what I think is one of the most underrated Filipino recipes. And of course, if you've seen the thumbnail, you know that I'm talking about Bicol Express. So without further ado, let me show you how I make my version. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is basically cook the pork in its own fat. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a hot pan right here without any oil. So at this point, I'm not gonna put any salt or any fish sauce because I want to make sure that the flavors marry each other later and that I do not over salt it. So at this point, the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover it, and in a couple of minutes, I'm just gonna stir it to make sure that the bottom doesn't burn, but that it develops a good crust. Okay, so while the pork fat is rendering, I'm gonna go ahead and cut some onions, garlic, some Thai chilies, as well as some green peppers. You can also use siling pangsigang, but I can't find them here, so I'm gonna use this instead. So just dicing 2 pieces of white onions. You can also cut it lengthwise, but I feel like it's better to cut it diced just because it melts into the sauce better. But either way, you're never gonna be wrong. Before I continue, I'm gonna check my pork and see how that looks. Just make sure you stir it every once in a while, but you do want to make sure it continues to sear and that it has the opportunity to brown before you proceed to the next step. Next, I'm going to cut some garlic. So this is about 15 pieces of garlic, actually maybe even 20. You just put as much or as little as you want. I do love a lot of garlic, so I'm just gonna dice this one as well. If you want, you can also even use garlic paste. That's gonna be really good as well. The next thing I'm gonna cut are these beautiful Thai chilies. You can also use siling labuyo if you're in the Philippines. I don't have access to that here, so I'm gonna use Thai chilies instead. And I'm using 4 pieces. Again, use as many or as little as you want. I do like spicy food, so 4 is good for me. And the last thing I'm going to cut are this green chili. So I'm just gonna take this end off, and then just for aesthetic purposes, I'm just gonna cut it diagonally, just like this. And you may think that this is a lot, but honestly, again, I do want just the green color here. It makes the dish even more appetizing. Just set it aside and let's just wait for the pork to cook. Okay, let's check the pork. Okay, all right. So it's starting to release some of its water and its oil from the fat, from the pork belly. You just really want to continue doing this. This is a step that not everyone does, but I do like cooking the pork belly in its own fat first before adding the coconut milk. And the reason I do that is because I want that added texture and the other flavor actually by not skipping this step. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and then we'll go check on it. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, so let's take a look. Ayan. Okay, you see how it now developed those crispy bits at the bottom? That's what you want. All right, so it's not quite there yet. I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes for the pork to develop even more crispy texture. All right, let's take a look. Okay guys, so as you can see, it's now crispy. This is what I want. So now we're ready to add in the rest of the ingredients. The reason why I didn't add any salt earlier is because right now I do want to add a cube of pork broth. You can also use pork broth, just a cup of it, but I do want to intensify the pork flavor, and that is why I'm adding 1 pork cube. I just want to melt that in the oil that was rendered from the pork itself. Now that it's melted, I do want to add the next ingredient, which is shrimp paste. Because I don't have access to bagoong alamang, but if you do have access to that, go ahead and add that here. So this is just a tablespoon. It's just the distinct flavor that you can get from Bicol Express. And so I do want to add it right now because I do want to saute it so that the flavors would stick to the pork before we add anything else. If you ever used shrimp paste before, you get that pungy, salty smell, and I just smelled it, and you guys, that for me signifies that this is gonna be a very, very good Bicol Express. Okay, so now that I added all of those, I do want to add all of the onions, garlic, and the Thai chilies that we chopped earlier. Again, add as many or as little as you want. I just want to cook this for a couple of minutes. So the next ingredient I'm gonna add is some canned coconut milk. So here in the US, we don't really have access to fresh coconut milk, but if you do want to add it, I would add coconut milk first. So in the Philippines, coconut milk is actually categorized into 2 things. The first piga, we call it like the first piga, which is the first time it's squeezed, which categorically is called coconut cream. And then the next several times that the coconut is squeezed, we call that coconut milk, which is the pangalawang piga, or like the second time that the coconut is squeezed. So because I do want this to be creamy as well, I'm going to add coconut milk first. So it is a little diluted, and then we're gonna finish it off later with coconut cream. Okay, so I just added 1 can of coconut milk. I just want all of these flavors to start to marry to each other. And then I'm going to adjust all of the seasonings later if I have to. All right. So as you can see, the color is now a little orange, and the shrimp paste helped with that. As you can see, the coconut milk has now reduced, so it's time to add the coconut cream. So coconut cream goes in, and if you're looking at it, I don't know if you can see it from the video, but if you're looking at it, you'll see that the consistency is really thick. So it's a lot thicker than coconut milk. And this combination together is going to give you the perfect texture of Bicol Express, in my opinion. We'll just cook this for another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and taste it to see if the seasoning is right. All right, so the coconut cream has now been cooking for 10 minutes. I'm gonna try the sauce so that I can see if the seasoning is just right or if I have to adjust it. The pork is still crispy, but the sauce just helped put all of the flavors with each other. I can't even explain it. This is really one of my favorite recipes. It is a little spicy and a little bit salty. And what you want to do, if you see that, is to actually balance all of the flavors together. So I do want to add just a couple tablespoons of brown sugar. You can also use white sugar if you want. I just have brown sugar with me. And then the sweetness will just balance all of the flavors in this dish. So just a couple of tablespoons. Okay? All right. Let's taste it one last time. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. We're gonna plate it, but before that, we'll top it off with the green chilies. For color, just so that it wouldn't be cooked down. I really don't like that. I do wanna taste the crunch from the green chilies. And that is why that's the last thing I put before plating. All right, so let's go ahead and plate. Okay, so I'm going to put the rice at the center. It's just 1 cup of rice, just like that, just so it would look good. And then I'm going to add the Bicol Express. Add as much as you like that. And then I top it off, of course, with more fresh green chilies. And here you go, guys. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually already tried this a couple of times just because I couldn't resist myself, but I'm going to try it again here on screen just so I can talk to you guys about it. You know when people describe dishes and they say that particular dish feels like a warm hug? Well, this is what it feels like for this one. The pork belly is still crispy, but the sauce, which is coconut milk based, is really creamy and it just goes very well with the shrimp paste. I have to say this is probably one of my favorite recipes and my favorite videos that I made in this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want more recipes like this, check out all of my other recipes in this channel and you can find them right over here. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye!